If your teen's meltdowns turn your home into a war zone, you're not alone. But you can learn to stay really calm, connected, and in control. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to parent through those really tough moments, like a pro, using a strategy called ABC parenting. I'm Annie Adjan. I'm a certified ADHD coach. I work closely with teenagers, college students, and their parents to help them understand ADHD, manage it really well, and ultimately tap into its many gifts. Every teenager is going to go through emotional highs and lows. They might get really silent or become brooding. They may even slam their doors or cry or sometimes yell. That's all really normal for this developmental stage. But if those storms happen several times a week and across different settings for, say, months at a time, well, that's when you really do need to consult your doctors. In ADHD, emotional regulation is one of the hardest and trickiest skills to parent. Your goal is not to stop those emotions. It's to guide them and help your teenager stay ahead of them before the dysregulation hits. Timing here is everything, and here's how to time it right. So what I'm coaching today is called ABC parenting. The A stands for antecedent, or the action. The antecedent action is the trigger, whatever creates or tips off the intense behavior. The B stands for behavior, and C is for consequence, natural consequence, or how the parent responds to the behavior. Now, most parents put all of their focus and energy into the C, consequences, responding, parenting, maybe even punishing teen poor behavior. But the key is actually to focus on the A, the antecedent, the trigger. When you put your parenting attention here at the A, the antecedent that causes the behavior, you will be able to prevent the explosion before it ever starts. And that is successful neurodivergent parenting. Here's an example. I have a sweet teen client who finishes dance late at night, and she's understandably tired and hungry. She begs for fast food on the way home after dance, and mom and dad say, "No, sorry, honey, there's food at home." And then, boom, the meltdown. Now, mom and dad know hunger is the trigger. There's the A. The antecedent that provokes the outburst is her hunger. So, next time, mom packs a snack in the car upon pickup, and no meltdown. That is proactive parenting. Reactive parenting, sorry, honey, I'm not going to stop at Taco Bell. There's food at home. Proactive parenting, you must be starving. I brought your favorite snack along, and you can munch on that in the car until we get home. And at home, you can enjoy a hot and healthy meal that's waiting for you. Here are a couple more examples of proactive parenting that teach and model strong emotional regulation. The first is a homework example. Instead of grounding your teen after discovering that there are missing assignments that maybe you didn't know about, you check the grade portal and Google Classroom together daily right after school. That's proactive parenting. Another example is an overcommitted, high-achieving student. Instead of forcing this student to quit or ditch their overly demanding AP class mid-semester and creating a lot of emotional distress, you would set realistic limits at the start of the school semester so that they know, okay, 2 weeks after the start of the school semester, if I don't have an 80% or higher in my AP history class, then I'm going to have to drop down to on-level history. That's what the grace period is for, that's what my counselor's for, and that's what my agreement with my parents is. And lastly, here's a school avoidance example. Instead of rescuing them from those anxiety phone calls that you get from school, you rehearse coping strategies ahead of time on the way to school. All right, honey, if you have a moment of major anxiety today and you feel like your anxiety is like at a 10, do those breathing practices, and you can always go to your counselor's office. And I can pick you up if needed, but only once your anxiety is down to about a 5 or 6. Then you can call me. Can you see the pattern here, mom and dad? You can't control their emotions, but you can absolutely rehearse and control the conditions that are the antecedents to their emotions. An ounce of prevention is definitely worth a whole pound of cure or more when you're helping your teen with ADHD learn to control their emotions. Otherwise, they will be controlled by their emotions, and you will too. Think about it. When, where, with whom does your teen tend to fall apart? Think about it right now and identify the A of ABC parenting. What's the action, the trigger, that almost always makes your teen fall apart? You already know what that is. Identify it, write it down. When do they always seem to lose it? When does that occur? Morning, night, after sleepovers, during homework? Which settings? You already know. And that's the easy part. That's your new target for you to proactively parent. Don't delude yourself into assuming that the triggers are going to go away. They're not. You have to help avert them with your proactive antecedent parenting. So create that map now, one that shows exactly where your teen's emotional landmines are located. Intervene before the meltdown. It's far less work to remove the tripwires than to pick up the emotional pieces afterward. Every time your teen has an emotional outburst, it fires and wires those neurons together in their brain, and that makes it more likely to happen again and again. So you must proactively step in to change that script. Teens with ADHD can't easily connect cause and effect, so they won't just learn their lesson after a meltdown, but they will learn from positive outcomes as well as your positive reinforcement. Here's a small but powerful tip. Ignore the behavior you don't want to see in your teen, and notice and praise the opposite behavior whenever it shows up. Say your teen picks their nose, but say nothing. When they grab a tissue, say, hey, thanks for grabbing a tissue. If they choose an apple instead of eating Oreos, praise it by saying, awesome snack choice. Brains with ADHD wire toward whatever gets attention. So give your attention to the behavior you want repeated, and then pepper it with lots of positive praise. Even the best proactive parent will sometimes face a full-blown meltdown. If that happens, when that happens, don't try to reason with them in the moment. Just stay calm. Be calm and be their anchor. Do make safety a priority. Try your very best to distance them from the triggering environment stimulus and pull their attention away from the source of stress. Keep your tone low, slow. Tell your teenager it's gonna be okay. You can ask how you can help. Is there anything I can do for you? Anything I can get for you? What can I do to help you? Then once calm returns, then that's your moment to reflect when your teen is calm and open and a little bit more receptive. Dr. Ross Green says that what kids learn most from these moments is whether the adults in their lives are there to help them or to control them. So first, validate the struggle. That was really hard. I know you didn't want to lose it like that. I'm always here. I always have your back. And then the next thing is to reassure your connection. We'll figure this out together. Don't worry. We'll get better at avoiding those sticky situations. And then later, you can gently explore. Hey, I'm curious. Can you tell me what you were feeling right before those feelings got really big? Those conversations, not the punishment or consequences. That's what's going to build trust and self-regulation over time. You can't always prevent every meltdown, but you can parent through it in a way that teaches emotional regulation instead of intensifying the meltdown. Concentrate on ABC parenting. And really the only letter you need to remember there is the A for action, the antecedent trigger that trips up your teen time and time again. If you parent actively right there, then your teen's B, behavior, is going to improve. And then the last letter, C, for consequence, is something you won't even have to think about. Sure, there will always be natural consequences to every choice that your teen makes. But if you parent well at the A as a proactive parent, not reactive, then the consequences never have to be you punishing your teenager. Give this approach a try. It really works. Let me know how it goes at home. And if it helps you, be sure to share it with another parent who's really in the thick of it right now. Remember, calm is contagious to your teenager. And remember, you're doing better than you think. I know that because you're here coaching with me. And I'm always in your corner, and I'm always wishing you all A's in your every parenting endeavor.